Welcome back to SpaceBall. It's me. I'm your host, Danny. I am here with, is he over there? My co-host, Geek Space Sports Editor, Robert Howard, CBD. We THC was last week. Now he's not high. He's just helping your inflammation.
Yeah.
He's just soaking his foot right before.
That's what I'm here for. You know what? It's true. We got to capitalize.
Got to capitalize. The C, the B, and the D are all capitalized. It's an acronym.
That's true.
We're here to talk about baseball, and we are in the last. This is gonna be our last episode of the regular season.
Last leg.
Tomorrow, for most teams, tomorrow is the last day of their season.
Yes.
There's a couple that are extending a couple more days because of missed games, because of a specific team that ruined everybody's season, and who shouldn't be allowed in the playoffs because of that. But they're not. The MLB doesn't like to actually punish people.
It's true. Except for Joe Kelly.
Joe Kelly.
Because you just mentioned that, he is also suspended 8 more games.
The Marlins have caused Joe Kelly to be suspended another 8 games.
Yes. That's true.
So, sorry. You saw he was starting the other night?
Yeah. Joe Kelly you talk about?
Yeah. Or maybe he's starting tonight. Somebody listed Joe Kelly as starting this last week.
I mean, they have first place and NL West, in the bag, so...
I mean, that makes sense, yeah.
Because the Cubs haven't even clinched. The Cubs have clinched their playoff spot, but they have not clinched the NL Central at all.
This was on Wednesday's game against the Athletics.
Oh, really? That is kind of cool. Yeah. It makes sense, especially, when you have this much time. I don't see why not try some new shit out and see how it works.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
Yeah, I would agree.
And then I think they switched to, I'm going to fuck up his name. Is it Urias? I don't know how I pronounce it.
Oh, I feel like, didn't we do this last week?
No, this was somebody else, but we did a similar thing. But
let me see. Dodgers.
If it was the same player, I'd be mad. But
talking about Julio Urias?
Yeah. It's Julio, but I don't know how to say his last name.
I believe it's Urias.
Okay, well, Joe Kelly started, and then Urias became he came in, I think, second or third inning, and then
he's Joe Kelly's son.
He's like what?
He just looks like Joe Kelly, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Joe Kelly's son.
Yeah. But yeah,
you're excuse me.
I was like, that doesn't make sense age wise. Anyway, we're talking about baseball. The playoffs are next week. The playoffs are crazy, weird, multi-bracket playoffs that I'm still trying to make sense of.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know why when they put that bracket out,
the labels are really weird.
Yeah, just put 1 through 8. I get it. It's all I needed. I didn't need 1 AL1 and 1
NL1. Division 1, Wild Card 2, 1, Wild Card 2.
And I was 1 through 8.
Yeah, there's only 3 divisions. So NL1 has to be one of the division leaders. And NL2 has to also be one of the anyway.
Leave it to the Major League Baseball. Leave it to the whole organization to just be let's make this as confusing as possible. So more people will come in and they will watch.
Yeah, exactly. It's a puzzle the audience has to figure out.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Do you like puzzle games? Here you go. Right up your alley.
That's going to be what happens. We're going to start the playoffs, and we're going to think we understood that graph a certain way. So like you were saying, we'll be like, oh, yeah, so Yankees will play the Twins. And we'll show, again, we misread it, apparently. We don't know who the
Yankees are playing the Dodgers.
That'd be a crazy. That wouldn't make sense because they're in different leagues.
No.
But I would pay to see a Yankees Dodgers knockout. That'd be really funny.
That would be wild. And also, I apologize for screaming into the microphone 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, that's fine. So let's just talk a little bit about the teams that are officially in the playoffs. That have clinched is the word that we're using. I have to pull up. My second monitor died, so I can't have things pulled up on the left side anymore. So.
Oh, good. I can get them all right here if you want.
I got them on my phone. So.
Okay.
All right. So in the AL East, the Yankees The Rays are at the top. They're the division.
Yes.
Division
Rays
leader.
have the best record in the AL right now.
Yes, and also clinched from the AL East are the Yankees and the Blue Jays.
Yes.
So, one half of my prediction still possible. In the AL Central, the Twins, the White Sox, and the Indians have all clinched. They have not gotten a division leader yet. Technically, the White Sox can still come up, but unlikely. Probably the Twins will end up with the division title.
The thing is, just to point that out, the Indians are on fire.
They are.
Like they have literally. I think that.
I guess they're tied. Yeah, sorry. White Sox and Indians are tied, and either one of them could take division.
Yes, I believe that. Here's the thing: is that the White Sox and Indians are tied, but the Indians have a better record. They just swept the White Sox, truthfully. So the White Sox are now the 7th seed. The entire AL landscape is clinched. It is as of right now. Sorry to steal your thunder. I would say. So what we're seeing for the AL right now: Tampa Bay Rays are first, Oakland Athletics are second, Minnesota Twins are holding on to a very, very slight lead at third with 35 and 23, and then from there it's pretty much anybody's ball game. Cleveland is 34 and 24. I believe, like you said, they still have like a doubleheader or two to play. Yankees are fifth with 32-26. Houston is 29 and 29. Chicago White Sox are 34 and 24, and Toronto is 31 and 27. Everything has been clinched. Everybody is in. There is nobody on this list who we will not see in the postseason.
Can I say, you know what is interesting? And we'll talk about this when we get to the NL teams.
Yeah, sure.
There is not a single team in the AL that is clinched that is not 500 or over.
Yeah, Houston just barely making it. They could lose today and tomorrow, but yes, I agree. And I mean, it's wild to me because, I fully expected teams like this to. I expected this to be less. I expected teams who had worse records to be in this. Like weeks ago, we were talking about the Yankees possibly looking at Baltimore and Detroit.
Yeah.
For like the 8th seed, because at that time they were just fucked. But and I mean, it's still like there are still 2 more games left. The Yankees could lose to the Marlins in the next 2 days, but yeah, man, it's crazy. Looking at this, honestly, this looks like a lot of very fun baseball. I would not want to fuck with the Indians in the playoffs.
No, they're hot.
No, not at all. And the thing that is especially crazy to me is, I want to say it is. Let me see, just to confirm. I don't want to say anything wrong. So, Jose Ramirez has slowly crept up in AL MVP talks. Dude has been on fire. And I mean, I believe that DJ LeMahieu is still going. I would say after today, he's at 359. I'm pretty sure he's gonna get. I think that he pretty much just clinched the batting title today. But. Yeah, man. I think that Cleveland is a team that you don't want to mess around with, which is the weirdest shit in the world to me because they traded Mike Clevenger and they got rid of Trevor Bauer last year. Yeah. So like, and at this time, this would be something that you would be saying like, oh shit, like the Padres, you know what I mean? Like they got Mike Clevenger and all of that. But the Indians have kind of snuck in there. I knew that Minnesota was a good team. I feel like everybody like that's the thing, but the issue is that. I don't know if you're seeing those teams, and this will sound kind of sketchy, but go with me here. I don't know if you're seeing that the Twins are super good or it was their schedule, and that's kind of why I'm not huge on, obviously, I'm not huge on like having just said divisions, but at the same time, there wasn't anything else that they could have done for this, you know what I mean?
Well, we will say that they did play the Minnesota Twins also had to play the NL Central teams.
That's true. I believe that's how it went. Is just AL and
AL. The East and the Central and the West basically all combined.
Yep. And I mean, that's fine too. Obviously, that they were trying to keep that all.
I was gonna say,
under
you know,
wraps,
the
but
NL Central is no slouch. I mean, they're not the West yet, but I mean, Cubs, Cardinals, and Reds all went over 500. They're all strong teams. So I mean, it's not like the Twins are playing nobody. But,
exactly. Yeah. I don't mean to say it in that regard. It's just with all so more so what I'm saying in this is that all of these teams within the postseason, it's kind of more of a question mark just because like they're all playing within their division. Yeah. Let's see what happens when they get. Well, I mean, aside from if the playoffs ended today, it would be Tampa Bay versus Toronto.
Sure.
But it's exciting to see how exactly this is all going to shake out. And yeah, I mean, the Rays, the obvious favorite to win, first seed. I saw a stat, and I apologize in advance because this is including the Phillies, but the Tampa Bay Rays had 12 people with saves. Like 12 different people with saves this year. The Phillies have 11 total saves this year. So that's pretty wild.
I don't know why you felt like I would be insulted. I would be the first person to agree with you.
Hey, I don't. That wasn't like
it
was just a weird fun fact.
Bad since when? The 80s?
But yeah, I would say the AL playoffs look like a lot of fun. If you want, do you have this all pulled up for the postseason seeding, or do you want me to run through
it? No. I don't have it pulled up for the seeding. I just have the standings.
Okay. So I would say the postseason seedings as of right now, September 26th. Dodgers in first. That's clinched. That's I would say they.
By the way, 700 record, 707.
Yep.
Insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. And I mean, that is more so what I was talking about as far as the West, that they played the Mariners, the Angels, the Astros, and the oh my God, who am I forgetting? I mean, the A's are great, but I'm referring to Mariners, Angels,
in the AL West,
Rangers, yes.
Yeah.
So like. That is like, you know how we've been saying like the Dodgers, like, oh man, they look great and everything like that, and I think that like mechanically they look sound, they look fantastic, they're definitely the best team in baseball as far as the record is concerned. I wouldn't be shocked if there was an upset this year, especially considering because I mean
the good teams they've played against this year are the A's, who are great, and the Padres. The Giants
and the Giants.
The Giants are good. Well, here's it.
Yeah.
Giants. I'm very proud of the Giants. I'm not so proud of Kapler, but whatever.
It's fair.
I'm proud of them because of the fact that this actually wasn't supposed to be a big year for them. You know, This was supposed to be. You and I have disagreements on the phrase rebuild, but this was kind of supposed to be a small rebuild for them. And
for sure.
Yeah, and
I agree with that.
And so I think it's crazy that they're even possibly, you know, they're one of the last two teams that can get this wild card spot, and they went 500. Like, that's fucking solid, you know.
Yeah.
And so the fact that, like, I'm not saying they're not good, but I would say Houston and San Francisco are in that like capable but not quite like bashing level team. But I mean, Dodgers did beat out the Athletics and the Padres, which both are just phenomenal teams this year. So you know, but it is. I think it's more going to be that. I think play style and sort of experience is what it's going to be, because like, you know, the division sizes are kind of reduced. They combine the AL and the NL, which is fair, but it's like, you know, the people you're going to be playing against in your, you know, AL or NL sides, now that we're doing the two bubbles, only 1 to 2 other teams will be teams you've played against at all.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of like, okay, how many times did the Dodgers play the fucking Padres this year? A ton.
Yeah, like, so they're gonna know. Like they're both very familiar with that. It's kind of like last year when the Yankees and the Dodgers played in Dodger Stadium. Everybody was like, "Wow, this might be a preview for the World Series."
Right. Yeah.
And that's where I see it as like. And again, even the Dodgers played a whole fuck ton of people last year, and they still ended up getting bounced in the ALDS. Mm-hmm. So I can't, like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where less games, and like the strength of schedule is something that actually comes into play when it comes to baseball. Because truthfully, I never necessarily looked at strengths of schedule, at least the previous years, just because I knew that the Yankees would always play the Astros at one point. They would always play the A's. They would always play people. They would play the Twins. They play the Indians. They would play everybody in the American League at least once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at on this. But that being said, with the Dodgers, that's like a question mark for me. The Braves, 35-23 with NL MVP Freddie Freeman on their team. Once again, we'll talk about him a little later. At least I know I will be. But just a great rounded team. They do have a bit of issues as far as their bullpen is concerned.
But they score so much it doesn't matter.
Yeah, man, and they're hot on the plate, and there isn't really too much that they just know what to do when the stick is in hand, man. I would say that's pretty much it. The Cubs. Some people are wondering when the Cubs are going to clinch the NL Central. I am, personally.
Yeah, because there's still technically the Reds could still catch up, and the Cardinals can because they are 3 games behind. They still have exactly 3 games to play. So it's like they may as well be clinched, but there is a theoretical possibility that the Cardinals can come back and take the division.
Yeah, I mean, and again, Cardinals are 3 games down.
Yeah.
Just because they haven't played 3. So 2.5, actually, I should say. And the Reds are hot on their heels as well. But with that, Chicago is right now looking at 3rd because of obviously the division lead. Padres are 35-23, same record as Atlanta. Padres, we've talked about them plenty.
Yep.
They've kind of cooled off in the past month.
But still, 600
Still
record.
a good team.
Yeah.
Still a good team, but they are not... They aren't Slam Diego, or at least they aren't at the peak of that. Maybe Slam Diego shows up in October, who knows? But I would say and then St. Louis, honestly, wild, because remember St. Louis didn't play for like a week.
Yeah. They were in the same situation as the Phillies and the Marlins. They got held back from playing for a little bit.
Oh yeah. And I would say with St. Louis, Miami's a shock, but at the same time, man, people poo-pooed on Derek Jeter as far as going out and making the different transactions and just setting everything up the way he did. But I mean, by hook or by crook, the Marlins are in it, man.
Yeah,
that's what we're seeing.
Now they're gonna win it all.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. If the Marlins don't win it all, I'm gonna be fucking furious because now the cool stat that I have for an MLB team is no longer there and no one else can have it.
What is the stat as of right now?
They are 100% in series in the postseason.
Yep.
They have literally never lost a postseason. They've never lost a postseason series. They have lost postseason games, obviously,
sure,
but they have never lost a postseason series. Anytime they make the playoffs, they win it. 97 and 2003. 97 was against the Indians, and 2003 was against the Yankees.
Yeah.
That was one time where I remember, I think that Roger Clemens was like, I'm retiring. And then he went and left and went to the Astros like a bitch. Lost that World Series too, which was rad. And I remember he threw like up and in at Miggy after like Miggy had done something, because like Roger Clemens is notorious for throwing up and in because he's whiny and pitchers are bitches. And he except for Kyle Finnegan, and Miggy just went oppo on him, and the Yankees ended up losing that series. And like as a kid, I was like, oh man, oh no. But like as an adult, I'm like, yeah, fuck him.
Yeah,
I like, you know what I mean. Roger Clemens sucks. But yeah, Cincinnati Reds, dangerous.
Yeah, and I think so. Then we still have we have one wild card spot left. So the clinches are Braves, Marlins, Cubs, Reds, Dodgers, Padres, And Cardinals are gonna have one of the spots. The only reason they're not listed as clinched is because theoretically they could lose 3 games in a row and get knocked out. I
should have mentioned, they haven't clinched yet.
Yeah. And then the Brewers could take their spot.
Or the Phillies.
Or the Phillies. Unlikely.
I know.
So basically battling for the last spot after the Cardinals is the Brewers at 28-30, the Phillies at 28-30, and the Giants at 29-29. So we'll see. We will see how this goes. I am not confident in the Phillies because our last 2 games are against the best team in the National League, in the American League, the Rays.
American League, yeah.
I know the difference. But yeah, our last 2 games are against the Rays, so we're probably going to get our asses kicked. And then who are the Brewers against today? I don't even remember.
Cardinals, right?
Yeah, that's right. So and they have to. So essentially, for us to get in, both of those teams would have to do really poorly, but they're playing each other, so that's impossible.
Well, keep in mind, St. Louis still has. So we're clear. There's the 8th seed that is locked up, or excuse me, 7th seed that is locked up.
Yes.
Either like Cincinnati or St. Louis will have that. They are fighting. Since St. Louis and Cincinnati are fighting to see whether or not they will get the second place in the division. That being said, what you would want in this scenario is you would want the Cardinals to win.
Yes, because the Brewers are closer into taking that second wild card spot.
Yes.
Which, if they take, basically the only other thing we can count on is the Giants are playing against the Padres, and if the Giants lose both games against the Padres and we win both of our games against the Rays, then this is a weird question. What if they lose both games and we only win 1 game? I think about this. Then we'd be tied.
Who's that?
The Padres.
Oh!
Sorry, Giants against the Padres. Sorry, I meant the Giants lose both games, right?
Yes.
So then we win 1 game and lose 1 game.
So yeah, it would be 29-31.
We have no record against each other.
Yeah, there's a lot of different factors. I actually can pull this up. Give me just a moment.
I didn't think about this because you're right. Because if theoretically, if the Marlins get knocked out or get knocked down for the next 2 games and we win both games against the Rays, we'd be tied. But the Marlins would still clinch our division because they have a better record against us.
Yep, they have the strength of schedule.
So, but we have no games against the Giants.
Or excuse me, not strength of schedule. That's head to head
matchup. Yeah, but I don't understand.
Trying to find it.
I don't know how that would work. It's curious.
Let me see, because I'm trying to see. There was a. I'm trying to find the rule.
Well, you find that. I was just gonna say that's all. Basically, it's gonna be either us or the Giants in the last wild card spot. But for that to happen, the Cardinals need to beat the Brewers, and then the Giants need to lose both games for us to get it, which is possible. It is the Padres. They're doing really well.
Yes.
So, but then we have to win at least one of the games against the Rays, which I am not confident at all that we can do. Dude,
you guys had it, and then the bullpen.
And then we have a bullpen problem.
Yeah.
I say we just split it. Let Zach Eflin pitch the first half of the game, and let JoJo Romero pitch the entire second half of the game.
That's really funny.
He can do it. Just keep feeding the man Red Bulls. He'll be fine.
Dude, the Red Bull is somebody who I need to be seeing in the postseason.
I hope he sticks around with us for another couple of years. I want to go see him in person. He's great. He's fun to watch. He's a fun pitcher to watch.
Well, that's what I like is that while the Phillies definitely. I mean, the Yankees have personality, but again,
the Phillies are bad, is what you mean to say. Even though they're bad.
That's true. That's very true. I mean, I don't know. Like they had the best record in baseball a couple weeks ago, as far as like from from just to clarify, from a period of time. So
Yes.
like they were like 10 in a row, 11 in a row or something like that.
No, it was we had 6 and then we had another 5.
Okay, so yeah, so they were like 11 of 12 in their last 12, something like that. Yeah. I'm trying to find this thing, but basically what it boils down to is it goes to head to head, and if you didn't play each other, then it goes to strength of schedule. Then right under that, it goes I want to say it goes last 20 games. That's what it goes
20?
down to. Because the reason why I say this is because last night there was a post on Reddit that was just like, the Yankees and the Blue Jays, if they end up getting head-to-head, it's insane because the Yankees' record against the Blue Jays is tied. Mm-hmm. Their strength of schedule is tied.
Yeah.
And then they're, at least within the AL or at least within the division. I believe it's the division strength of schedule, but again. And then if it's after that, then it's the last 20 games that they played, and they were 12-8.
Both of them?
For each of them. Yep.
Ha!
So I was like,
I think the last 20 we might be up over the Giants, but if it's the last 10, they're up over us. And I think that they would take it on strength of schedule, honestly. Because I think that the West is just a better team than the East. Although we have to play the AL East, so I don't know.
Yeah. That's the thing.
The AL West kind of is a junker, so I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's the thing that's the thing that I'm not certain of, at least as far as that, and I don't have anything.
Who makes that
decision?
decision?
To tell me. I mean, maybe they just do have a playoff, which would be cool. I would like a game.
There's just like one guy that the MLB has hired to decide who is the better team in this very specific scenario.
Yeah. Just throws a dart at a wall at this point. Like
they're just like so which is better, the AL East or the AL West? And he's like, well,
look at percentages.
Which one has the Mariners again?
That's the thing, man. If you're in the NL Central, it would just be like, all right, well, Pittsburgh is the worst, and they've already clinched their first draft pick.
Have
so
the
who
worst.
cares?
You have the worst team, so your division is automatically the worst.
Yep, that's true.
Well, so everybody at home, please pray for the Phillies. They are God's favorite team, despite what the Angels may tell you. And I know that because just
Ring
like
that bell.
any of God's apostles, we do suffer the most. So,
got a point there.
So if you could just pray. It's, you know what else I realized? The Padres also have a bell that they ring.
Really?
You never seen that GIF? The Padres win, or it's the mission bell. They do the mission bell.
Oh, yeah. For some reason, I was like, they don't have a Liberty Bell. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, don't you remember the San Diego Liberty Bell?
Yes.
Yeah,
the American Revolution.
They have the
San
mission
Diego bell.
But
yeah.
Remember the San Diego or whatever that statement was.
Remember the Alamo?
Yeah. That was San Diego, right?
Oh, the Rangers are pissed at you now.
It'd be cool.
That's
if
like
going to
be the tagline.
Played inside the Alamo.
The thing is, that should be the tagline for the World Series. Is just remember the World Series or remember baseball because it's 2020.
Remember America.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we should always remember America.
I'm trying my hardest to forget it. It's not letting me.
Yeah.
So, we should also say, theoretically, the Mets could make it in.
Yes, they do have a 1% chance to make it.
Yes, so they won't. Who are the Mets playing?
If there's one thing that you can count on, it's that the Mets will not make the postseason when you're paying attention. When you aren't, they will. That's what happened.
They're playing the Nationals, actually, so maybe.
After that doesn't, they have to have a bunch of other shit happen before they do that too.
The Mets are playing the only other team in the league that's worse, or in our division that's worse than them. So.
Ooh, yeah. No, when it comes to the Mets, I'm legitimately serious. I didn't pay attention to the 2015 season too much because I had like the Derek Jeter hangover from 2014 to where, because he was like my favorite player. He was my childhood like hero. I love Derek Jeter. I literally have a plaque of him, like a tiny little plaque like of him over here. And I remember I went to Yankee Stadium in 2014 to see, to just see him for his last game. It was actually awesome because I got to see him walk off. But I was not there for that game, but I was there for a game where the Yankees walked off. And so I didn't pay attention to it too much. I know that they had made the playoffs and then they lost to Houston, but still very cool. And the Mets made the World Series. But the thing is, after the 2014 World Series, which I think is one of the best that I've ever seen, I think that the funny part about it is that one of my buddies is a huge Mets fan, and I remember messaging him, and I was like, at the end of 2014 World Series, when the Royals just barely lost, I was like, they're going to come back and they're going to win the next World Series. There's no doubt in my mind. That team is too young, they're too hungry, and the front office doesn't have any reason to trade or sell or anything like that. I was like, they're going to. And they did. 2014 was a special season for the Royals. And I felt so bad because, like, that place was rocking when I had watched their postseason games. But
and 2021 will be a special year for them too because they'll be partially owned by Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, that's true, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're settling like pretty soon.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
if that's something that he wants to do.
Well, I mean, his dad was a baseball player.
Oh yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. And he also was a multi-sport player.
He didn't basically through college. It was like football, I think mostly, but he was.
No, I think he played baseball.
Oh yeah,
too.
no,
I think he was in the College World Series.
He was a pitcher.
Yeah, I believe so.
Wild. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
no, he was a good pitcher, but
I'm sure he was.
Did you get the no? Okay.
Oh no, I didn't.
Wild pitch.
Sure. So anyway, I just gotta hope for some Giants losses tonight. Here's the question: if your team can't make it to the World Series, let's say on the off chance the Yankees don't make it to the World Series, what teams do you want most to make it? Not like do you think most will, or you would be very like you'd be like, yeah, that's awesome.
Padres and White Sox, or Padres and Indians.
Okay.
Let me see. So. Oakland would be cool, but Oakland, I don't know what it is, but I just don't see Oakland. Like last year, I thought Oakland was going to body Tampa Bay in that one-game playoff, and they just got absolutely trounced in their stadium. Looking at all of it, I mean, I'm sorry, but I would have to still go with Miami beating anybody in the AL just because of the stat. But if it was just pure baseball interest, I would probably say Cleveland and the Padres, the Indians and the Padres, just because, neither of them have won a World Series. I'm pretty sure the Padres have never won a World Series. They've been to one, but I don't believe they've ever won one.
Yeah,
I'm just making sure. Yes, 84 and 94 are both losing it. They won the pennant, but they've never won the World Series. Which is just a piece of metal anyway. So what does it even matter?
Yeah, who cares?
You know? Yeah. Fucking
Nick
whatever.
Swisher has as many rings as Jackie Robinson.
Yeah. So we're clear on that discussion. No, I'm kidding.
I think Padres would probably be my choice if the Phillies somehow don't get in. I think the Padres would be my choice for NL. I think Blue Jays. I know that it was my bet also was Blue Jays, but also I love.
They're a fun team.
They're fun. They're young. They have a lot of weird character. They're like, what is it? They were the only infield that was staffed by, like sons of MVPs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Bo Bichette, Vlad Guerrero Jr. for obvious reasons.
Kevin Biggio.
I
think there's somebody else, but I don't remember.
I think that's.
But
I'm trying to think. I can't remember.
Is it Gurriel?
Yuli Gurriel.
Oh, no. His dad was
Gurriel's
Cuban baseball.
Gurriel's also on the Astros.
No, not Yuri. His brother.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. I for a moment I was like, okay.
No. Yuri's brother. I can't remember his first name. But they're
Yuli is who I'm talking about. Yuli Gurriel is on the Astros.
Yes.
Yes. Yuri is who you're talking about on the Blue Jays.
No. His name is completely. Oh my god, I'm gonna look it up. They have his father's name.
Lourdes. Lourdes
yes,
Gurriel.
Lourdes Gurriel.
Probably butchering that, but
their dad was an MVP, but he played for Cuba. So that's what I was saying.
I gotcha.
So I guess he doesn't count, but his dad's also a baseball player.
Okay.
But so I think that's a fun team, and also just because of the fact that, like, I love when teams get in on like the low wilds and like rake through. That to me is so much fun.
That was like honestly like the Nationals last year.
Yeah,
that was like I remember watching last year and being like, I turned to whoever it was, but I can't remember who I was speaking to. But I was just like, you fucking watch. I was like, the Nationals, as soon as Howie Kendrick hit that home run off of Joe Kelly, or was it Clayton Kershaw? One of the two. As soon as that home run was hit, I was like, the Nationals are going to go all the way.
Yeah.
Like, bar none. I think the next day Atlanta lost like 15-1. In the first inning, they were down like 10-0 or 10-1 or something like that. So Atlanta needs to get over that if they're going to be doing anything this year.
Yeah.
But, man, I remember that happening. And then when the Yankees lost to the Astros, I was like, all right, well, honestly, I was more worried about the Nationals than I was about the Astros. So we'll see. And then the Astros were cheating pieces of shit. So I got cool.
But I also want to say about, I think the best thing about the Blue Jays winning would be that they didn't even have a stadium. I think if they could take it home, but it's not even home, it's Buffalo, I think that'd be the funniest fucking thing in the world.
Yes, I was just going to say, so the thing is, obviously nobody has a stadium because this is all neutral fields for this.
Well, I just mean this whole season. They haven't
No, I know.
Yeah.
But the fact that I have lived in Bills country more or less my whole life, and I've heard so many Bills fans, and the one year that baseball has a Buffalo team and then they win the World Series, I don't think you understand collectively how many heads would explode just out of sheer frustration.
It'd be very funny
that a temporary Buffalo team
got a
has
championship
won the World
before
Series.
the Bills.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing.
Before the Bills, before the Sabres, like.
Do you know what the best part of it is? After the season, the World Series, right? They can't even go home to celebrate. They're still not allowed in the country for another 2 weeks.
Yep.
They have to go back to Buffalo to celebrate.
Yeah, I mean, well, Manfred said you can't pop bottles this year and celebrate, and I was like, I mean, like, I get it, but you've had such lax, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's weird.
Yeah, but so I really hope. I love the Padres and I love Slam Diego, but the thing is, I think they're such a good team that, like, assuming their roster stays mostly the same,
we're gonna be seeing them.
I think you'll see them back in playoffs next year. I think they'll be a mainstay for as long as they have this team.
Yep. I mean, the thing is, with them being what they are, it's possible that we might not, considering how San Diego teams have gone the way before, it's possible that we might not. But
yeah,
I think that if the Padres owners are big on stuff like this, I don't see why not. They obviously were with signing Manny Machado for like a 10-year, $300 million deal or whatever. It was $300 million, but it was a high deal.
Yeah.
A lot of money, more money than I got. But
you're right. It is more money than you've got.
It's true. But I think that yes, we will see them. But yeah, I mean, maybe the Reds, just because I would like to see Trevor Bauer also get a ring.
Trevor Bauer would be cool. Get Trevor Bauer screaming in Game 7.
Dude. Final statement that I will make is, I would say my final pick, and then we'll obviously hop to cheers, jeers, if we even need to. Truthfully, we've talked a lot. But Indians, Padres, and then I would say, this isn't a prediction of like who I think is going to win. This is just what I would want, by the way. But Padres, Indians, Padres in 7. That'd be cool. I always want a Game 7. Always.
Yeah, I think Yeah, I think I'd love to see Padres, Blue Jays. I don't want the Marlins to win just because of their conduct. But if they swept the whole fucking playoffs again, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And then I think if it comes to Padres and Blue Jays, my prediction would be Padres in 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
But okay. Well, let's do Bronx cheers, Fanatic cheers. Okay, so
you didn't finish last week's.
I have to do that now.
Last week's was
yeah,
and then you're like, I'm not finishing it.
Fuck Nardwar. So look, the Phillies are bad. Okay, your turn.
The Yankees are okay.
That's Bronx cheers and Fanatics cheers, everybody. There's nothing left to fucking talk about.
No, really. I mean, like the last couple of days, what I will say is just like Phillies have been on a downslide and it sucks. For you,
death spiral.
And then the Yankees haven't even necessarily clinched. So like in essence, like they have clinched their postseason, but they could be the 8th seed, or they could be the the 5th. Like it's really up in the air. For me, yeah, I mean they won today, so got that. But yeah, I don't know. We will see.
All I have to say is that it is a sad state that we were doing so well, and then we had a bunch of injuries, and because of the injuries, we had to call up people, and like, it's
that's baseball, baby.
Yeah, well, it's like, what's so funny is because Alec Boehm got called up, he's not gonna get it just because dudes like Jake Cronenworth and Dustin May are in there. But
he can't get it. I don't think he can get it.
I don't think he can either. And truth be told, even if he was closer than he is now, he wouldn't get it just because the other, like, 3 rookie contenders for the NL are all going to the postseason.
Yeah,
so, like,
that doesn't matter because the thing is, everything's voted on it before the postseason.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah.
Well,
the manager of the year is voted for before postseason. The
but
MVP
like
is
a
voted
week before the postseason, not before postseason is clinched. Is my point.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is before the postseason hits, they all because MVP, everything like that is already voted on before the postseason itself.
Yes.
Like before the postseason starts is what I'm saying.
No, I'm just saying though, but like, my point isn't that that the postseason stats are going to push anybody over the edge. My point is that Dustin May and Jake Cronenworth, for example, are already on teams that are just 10 times better than the Phillies.
Gotcha. So he's going to have more...
Yeah, if you put Alec Boehm on the Yankees, people might vote for him because, holy shit, that team is doing amazing and he's a great part of it. Whereas, like, not saying Alec Boehm isn't doing a good job, but Alec Boehm, as opposed to is destroying the division, Alec Boehm is one of the reasons the Phillies are barely keeping their head above water, and that's just not nearly as impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But
keep in mind, he will be in contention for Rookie of the Year next year.
Yes. Well, I was just going to say, the fact that he was sort of in contention, is not really anymore, but about a week and a half ago, he was sort of in contention for Rookie of the Year, despite the fact that he only got called up because of an injury. I was like, hey, you know what? Good for him.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I mean, I think that next year we'll definitely see... he's definitely
if he continues to fucking rake, hopefully.
Well, like, my issue with the Phillies in general is just that, like, the previous year they went out and they got Bryce Harper. This year they got Didi Gregorius, and they made some changes here and there, but, like, they didn't worry about their pitching at all. Like,
yes,
except they got Zach Wheeler, and like, starting rotation wasn't necessarily their issue in my opinion. Like, obviously, but on paper, if you see names like Jake Arrieta, Zach Wheeler, and Aaron Nola, it's like, okay, those are your 3. Like, those are the 3 starters that you're gonna have. Obviously, Arrieta being injured, I would say he had an elbow injury, didn't he?
I mean, he had, but that, I mean, his stats were bad before.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the truth is...
Well, I mean, keep in mind, that can affect. Like, with
Sure,
James Paxton, like, James Paxton doesn't normally pitch as shitty as he was pitching, but, yeah.
But I think it's sad that, I mean, Jake Arrieta, look, I'm not saying he's a bad pitcher.
No, I know.
But he's just, it was bad this year. I mean, like, the truth is, like, Zach Eflin basically superseded Jake Arrieta in the rotation. Like,
yeah.
There's, like, and I mean, it's kind of unfair when you put everybody against Zach Wheeler. We got late, but Aaron Nola is a phenomenal pitcher, and
yeah, for sure.
Jake Arrieta is good, but he's definitely getting older.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a pitcher that will require more maintenance, is what I'll say. And
yes,
it's gonna, I think that the problem with the Phillies that I kind of have seen is, like, we're not great at developing talent. It seems like we're pretty good at scooping up stuff that, like, people have already used. We got Arrieta, we got Wheeler, we got Nola. Nola is actually a draft pick. We did develop him, and then we developed Pivetta, and that was a fucking disaster. And, we picked up Bryce Harper, we picked up Didi, we picked up JT. All these people were, like, getting, but, like, then, like, basically, Alec Boehm is the only guy who, like, was a top prospect of ours who we brought onto the field and was actually like, holy shit, this guy's good. Like, kind of surprising. So, Moniak's been okay.
Yeah.
But I just think that the Phillies... again, maybe this is my misunderstanding, or maybe Matt Klentak has the same misunderstanding of what the phrase rebuild means. But this was literally designated to be the last, like, 3 years were supposed to be our rebuild period. And we didn't really do much. It really seems like we fucked the whole rebuild.
Yeah.
Like, we picked up a bunch of dudes on 1-year contracts. That's not a fucking rebuild. Mm-hmm. Like, that's... I don't know. I think
not to mention
we traded Sixto Sanchez for a 2-year contract. I love JT. I love him. He's the best catcher in baseball. But that's, like, fucking terrible deal making. That's not rebuilding at all. That's a 2-year contract is not a rebuild.
To be fair, I think that what they were possibly trying to do is a little bit of win now and a little bit of, like, with prospects like Alex Boehm and obviously having Aaron Nola. And like I said, I thought you said I said Eric for a second. I was like, what?
No, that was last week.
Yeah. Alec Boehm and like prospects like that, as well as like I said, the starting rotation on paper with Aaron Nola, Jake Arrieta, Zach Wheeler, like, people like that. And then I feel like they were kind of trying to have their cake and eat it too.
I agree with that.
Where, like, and I mean, Sixto Sanchez, like, as far as I understand, at the beginning of the year he was not developed, and then he just became, like, a very good starter.
Well, the thing, I'm not even mad about the fact that we didn't keep Sixto. That's not my point. It's that if the idea is to make this a rebuild, the idea of a rebuild is to, like, have a foundation for future teams, which you just can't do on short-term contracts. It's just not, like, not saying that we'll get Manny Machado, but Manny Machado, 10 years. Mookie Betts, 10 years. Like, we need something like that. We got Bryce Harper, which is great. I love Bryce.
Like, investment in the long term.
Yeah, but then outside of Bryce, it was 1 year, 2 year, 1 year, 3 year, and everybody was, and that's not a rebuild. I mean, if you want to do that to sort of cap off a team for a certain season, like, if you're like, we're almost there, we just need a shortstop, okay, we'll get Didi for the year. That's fine. But it was like, that's most of our team, or sorry, not most of our team. Most of our moves as a team was all 1 year, 2 year, 1 year. And I was like, that just doesn't qualify as a rebuild then.
Yeah.
Because by the time that you work that stuff out, the team's gone again.
They must have had money pains as far as, like, the contract for Bryce Harper.
Probably.
Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Because, like, they didn't reach out because like Garrett Cole wasn't signed. Like they didn't even attempt to sign Garrett Cole. They didn't even attempt to sign Madison Bumgarner. They didn't even attempt to sign. These are not listed as like best to bad pitchers or whatever.
Sure,
just so we're clear. Because like Steven Strasburg also was available too, and he signed a deal with the Nationals. So for me, and I mean again, there's a lot of different like prospects that are coming up in the next year or two as well, but it just doesn't seem like they went after it as far as their bullpen was concerned, and that's kind of a dagger when like after that whole collapse against the Mets last week, Joe Girardi literally says to the press, "I'm just working with what I'm given."
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
At that point, it's just like, what can you say to a would I say Hall of Fame career for Joe Girardi? Not necessarily yet. But like a very Joe Girardi being absolutely responsible for the team that the Yankees currently have, as well as in 2009 World Series, and consistently like the Yankees have made the postseason the most out of any team in the last 20 years. Mm-hmm. I think that the Yankees only missed the playoffs in 2008. And 2014. No, yes, 2014 and then 2016. So I think they've missed 3. I could be incorrect about that. So
the 3-year deal. Sorry, 3-year deal I was taking up was Kutch. He's on.
Okay. But yeah, I think that in general it's just fingers crossed. Hopefully the Phillies pull it out in these next games and a couple things happen. But
the downside is I will say that we might not see Phillies in the postseason. That sucks, but I've been there before.
Yeah.
The upside is, and somebody said this, and I think it's kind of become the rallying cry amongst Phillies fans. Well, if this season goes so fucking abysmally that even in an expanded playoff, that we can't get in, hopefully they fire Matt Klentak.
Yeah.
But
that does make sense.
Because clearly Girardi's not happy.
No.
And none of the
I don't think he should be.
Nobody should be.
No.
This sucks. So, there's my jeers, motherfuckers. It's very likely the final jeers of the year. Because I won't have shit to say about the Phillies next week.
Next week is just Bronx cheers and...
Yeah. Next week is Bronx cheers and Jays hoorays, motherfucker. That's where I'm going.
Hey,
I say, my team is great now.
My team is the best team.
My team is so good.
You don't understand.
I just love Bo Bichette.
I do
love Bo Bichette.
Like... I love all of those players. I just hate that they're in my division. Like, it's the Mookie effect.
I love Bo Bichette because the name sounds like Boba Fett.
So piss missiles.
All right. So this week, I'll start with my very nice. I'm going to give it to him because you know what? He's fucked. Basically, I'm going to give it to Justin Upton. Angels versus Dodgers. Justin Upton smacked a solo off of Clayton Kershaw. Good for you,
yeah.
Man. Anybody who gets a home run off of Clayton Kershaw, you're A-okay in my books.
Did you also see Mike Trout hit his first home run off of him, too?
Yeah, but I think that's Mike Trout.
Well, no, that was his first home run off of Clayton Kershaw ever.
Oh, I mean, I believe that, but also, I mean, like, it's just Mike Trout. Good,
yeah.
Good for Justin Upton. He's not Mike Trout, and he still hit one off Clayton Kershaw. Good for him.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fair. Justin Upton, congratulations. Your team is probably not going to make the postseason.
Oh, they aren't. All of AL is clinched.
Oh, well, Justin Upton, congratulations. Your team's definitely not making the postseason. Enjoy that home run.
And my pick for AL Piss Missile is it's sort of cheating because I think it happened literally last Saturday, but the game didn't happen yet, so I'm counting it.
Yeah.
Tim Anderson knocking one off of Trevor Bauer. in the the Chicago White Sox Cincinnati Reds game. I love this because I truthfully will have any excuse to talk about Trevor Bauer at this point, but I love it because after, like, in the midst of, like, mid-stride, Tim Anderson said, tell him to vlog about that on his YouTube channel after he was mic'd up and they asked him about it.
Yeah.
To which Trevor Bauer did put up Tim Anderson, quote, all caps, embarrassed Trevor Bauer. And he also said that he was soft for not bat flipping. And that was the best part about it. Because last year, when everybody was pissing and moaning about how Tim Anderson bat flipped on everybody whenever he would hit a home run, Trevor Bauer was one of the people who... Trevor Bauer is normally somebody who will come up to bat for players. And he was just like... He was like, yeah, keep doing bat flips. I don't give a shit. It's fine. And he was like, if you hit a home run off of me, do a bat flip. And yeah, it was awesome. And then I was just like, oh, okay, that was cool.
Yeah. My NL goes to Mike Moustakas. He hit a 2-run off of Barrios, which is cool. And it was just nice because it was like one of those long center field, like right over the center field. Just nice. And... You know,
oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's nice. And you know, two teams that, like we said, we're gonna be watching, the Reds and the Twins. So that, you know, it'll be fun to see those guys go into the postseason and hit more fucking home runs. Hopefully,
that's true. It's very true.
All right. So then, what's your national leg?
Mine is actually a walk-off home run from last night from a Mr. NL MVP himself, Freddie Freeman. Off of the Red Sox. Didn't get to do a whole lot of these this year because the Red Sox pretty much had the game lost before there was 5 innings.
Yeah.
Before there was 5 innings of baseball played. But I get to do that 2 weeks in a row, just more so the Yankees didn't get to walk off, and I get to see Freddie Freeman walk off of the Red Sox. I was initially going to do Ronald Acuna Jr.'s longest baseball hit of the year, period. But... them's the breaks, and Freddie Freeman is cooler.
Then Ronald Acuna?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
They're both cool, but
yeah.
I think that Freddie has that, like, chill factor about him.
Yeah, he's
and funny. Also, I think that Acuna has... I think that I've seen Acuna with a bit of an attitude, so...
Okay, well, we are now in our last segment because we no longer have... This is how I win. If you want to go back and
play
watch
that. Oh, sorry.
Say if you want to go back and watch that, you can watch it and know that none of the things we say matter because that's already done. Or if somebody in the future wants to go back and relive the 2020 MLB season, that'll be there for you, step by step.
That's true.
All we have left is WWJD. What would Junior do? And look. The Mariners are not making the postseason.
Tragedy.
But you know who is? The Cincinnati Reds. So, if you were Junior, Cincinnati Reds era Junior, getting into the postseason, kind of expanded postseason, you're one of the wild cards, you're one of the underdogs. Game 1, what would you do?
I think that game 1, you would kind of see that I think that in his entire tenure, he did not make the playoffs at all as a Cincinnati Red. So, I think that this is as good a time as any to, just sock a dinger.
That is correct. He would... Not only, I think, sock a dinger, I think he would probably set the record for the most dingers socked in the postseason. I'd be willing to bet.
I'd subscribe to that.
Yeah. Okay, well, that is the final regular season SpaceBall episode. I'm so done. I'm ready for the irregular season. Bring it on.
The irregular season?
That's what this year just felt like, so.
I mean, you could kind of just call 2020 the irregular season.
Somebody's going to write a book
about
this, and they're going to call it the irregular season. Oh, we didn't talk. We didn't even talk about it. I was going to say everything from the MLB lying about COVID tests to fucking to players quitting, and oh man, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a fun book when it comes out.
Yep.
It's gonna be by the guy who did Moneyball, whose name I cannot remember. Michael something.
It is Michael Lewis.
Michael Lewis. Michael, there's your new idea, and we will see you guys next week. Thank you. Bye bye.
Call me Junior. Call me Junior. Call me Junior.